Your ex's family and your mutual friends can be a gray area that's difficult to navigate after a breakup. So if you want to hear my take on it, join me after this. Hey sis, welcome to Goodbye Heartbreak, Hello Healing. Are you hurt and confused after a recent breakup? Are you having thoughts like, I can't believe I'm here again. Why wasn't I enough for him? Or I'm never going to get married? Do you find yourself Googling how to get past the breakup or how to heal my broken heart? Do you start your morning feeling like you can finally breathe again, only to fall apart when you see a picture of your ex on social media? Hey sis, I'm Candace. I too was a single Christian woman who was heartbroken but still desired marriage. I too had numerous failed relationships and wished the right man would come along. I wanted closure from past relationships, healing for my heart, and I wanted to feel joy in my life again. But the truth is, I had no idea where to start or how to make any of this happen until I found the secret, partnering with God to heal from heartbreak. In this podcast, you will find tips for moving on after breakups, growing your relationship with God, and preparing for future relationships so that you will heal your heart and be ready to move forward into the life you desire. So turn off those heartbreak songs and turn me up in those earbuds. It's time to heal, sis. Hey sis, and welcome back for another episode of Goodbye Heartbreak, Hello Healing. I'm so excited that you are joining me on today. I know you're probably in a rough season of your life, but I'm just so grateful that God chose me to be here with you as you go on this journey of healing. So first things first, if you have not subscribed to the podcast, please hit your subscribe button wherever you are listening. And also, if you have not yet left your 5-star written review, please go ahead and leave your written review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps the show and it helps other women just like you to find the show. So y'all, today we are talking about how to deal with your ex. Not just him, but his family, and maybe you guys had some mutual friends. So this topic came up from a listener of the podcast who emailed me and saying, hey, this is where I am struggling and I would love some advice. So I wanted to give my take on the subject. So first, let me start by saying that this largely depends on the person and where you are in your healing journey, okay? So it's going to look different for each individual person, but there are some things that you have to take into account. Everyone should take these particular things into account. So let's start with one question you need to ask yourself. And I am going to give you permission to be selfish and brutally honest when you're answering this question. So here it is. What can I handle right now? That is something that I'm not even sure that you have really asked yourself in this season, because you're probably not thinking about what you can handle. You're just thinking about all the stuff that's coming at you right now. So this question is so important because oftentimes we worry about what others will think of us, or we worry about hurting someone else's feelings to the extent that we deprive ourselves of the very things we need to heal. Okay, so that's why I want you to take this question into account. And like I said, be selfish when answering it, meaning be truthful. Tell what you need, whether it benefits the other person or not, is not what we're going to think about right now. Because the truth is, if they really care about you, they will respect whatever decision you make to make it easier for you to move forward. So if you decide to stay in touch with your ex's family or y'all mutual friends, then you need to know if you're doing it out of obligation or guilt, or are you doing it for you? So that's the first question I want you to keep in mind whenever you're making the decision of how you're going to move forward in this situation. So here are some things to consider in figuring out what you can handle. Okay, so that's a big question, like what can I handle? But there's 3 things I want you to consider. All right. 1, where are you in your healing journey? So that was the first thing I said, that it's largely dependent on the person and where you are in your healing journey. If you just broke up yesterday, last week, like these things are really, really fresh. And so you probably can't handle as much as a person who has been single or out of that relationship for 6 months, 9 months, or a year. Like those are very different things. When you're fresh out of a relationship, it's hard to, hear people talk about your ex talking to somebody, hear your ex in the background, or even seeing their family or talking to their family members, because why? It reminds you of him. It reminds you of what you guys used to have. And so consider where you are in your healing journey right now. The second thing to consider is how you feel running into your ex right now. So how would you feel if you saw him somewhere? Because that's a risk you run when you stay in touch with when you guys are in the same circle, when you stay in touch with his family, when you stay in touch with mutual friends, if you guys are having coffee, going shopping, or doing something together and you actually see each other, or you're FaceTiming, or, doing Google Meet or something, and he like passes in the background, how would you feel if you saw him right now? Okay. Can you handle that? The third thing to consider in figuring out what you can handle is, how would you feel hearing about your ex right now? So the same thing I pretty much just said. How would you feel if your ex's mom, for example, if his mom was the person you were staying in touch with and she kept talking about him, or that he was doing something, or he was enjoying things? How would you feel hearing that, knowing that you're hurting right now, knowing that you're struggling to move forward if things are so fresh for you? Even if they're not fresh for you and you've been on this journey for a while, but you're just not there yet that you want to hear about him or his life, or if he's dating someone new or anything like that. So consider those things when you're trying to think about what you can handle right now. Now, if you feel like you can't handle being in touch with someone or certain people right now, that's okay. Communication is key, okay? Let the person know that your relationship with them is valuable to you, but you just need some space in this season while you heal. Figure things out and work on letting go of that relationship with your ex. So this is like for the person that, you know what, I want to keep that. I want to stay in touch. I want to have a relationship with you. But right now is not the time. Like, I can't do it right now. So again, if you want to salvage that relationship, just make sure that you're communicating that. And something else I want to caution you against is also, be careful about sharing things with mutual friends that you wouldn't want your ex to know about, because they're mutual. They may be your friend, but if they're his friend too, then that can get back. If it's not a person that you trust is loyal to you, again, be very careful. People sometimes repeat things even without malicious intent. It's not like they're going back, it's not always like, oh, let me tell you what she told me. Sometimes it just comes up in conversation and they just blurt it out without even thinking about it. And I know how good it feels to talk and vent to your friend, but you have to be wise and discerning here. Is this something that perhaps you should share with God or your therapist right now instead of sharing with a friend? Do you have a friend that's not a part of your ex's friend group that you can maybe share things with in this very sensitive time where, again, you may not want your ex to know what's going on in your life, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, especially if it has anything to do with him or anything to do with someone else. So either way, it's your business. And again, it's your choice, but be very careful about that when it comes to the mutual friends. And so in this email, the question was posed that, what if my ex's mom or another relative reaches out to me? So what if that happens to you? Like, what if your ex's mom, your ex's sister, your ex's cousin, aunt, grandma, somebody, whoever reaches out to you? What if they call you, text you, or, message you on social media? And I get it that being the one to reach out and start the conversation isn't the easiest and most comfortable thing to do. So you have a few options here, because my advice would be to set the boundaries before they do that. But if you feel like you're not comfortable doing that, then, there are some options. So one, you can ignore them and don't respond. If they reach out to you and you feel like I just can't handle that right now, then you can just not respond to them and perhaps they'll get the message. Who knows how they will read into that? But this may not put you in the best light if you do that. So just be aware of that. And it may diminish your chances of salvaging that relationship in the future if that is what you want to do. So though ignoring someone and not responding to them is an option, it's a risky option. Okay. So you have to be careful. If you want to salvage that relationship in the future, And, you may not care, but I just want to let you know that that is risky. So be careful about that. But if you're like, you know what, I'm not worried, I don't want to keep in touch with them, then by all means, go ahead and just don't respond. Now, when I think about the next option, I think about the person who doesn't really have the capacity like to fully explain or have this full conversation to, set those boundaries and, communicate in that way. Maybe, but you still want to salvage the relationship, maybe just do a quick and short response to them. They might reach out to you. They might, say, hey, or, are you okay? You want to talk? I'm here. They may just be saying things like that, or they could be saying more. I don't know. But whatever it is, however it is they're reaching out to you, you can just do a very quick response. You can simply say something like, hey, I'm having a tough time right now. I'll reach out when I'm feeling better, and keep it short, simple like that. You don't have to give them any details or anything like that, but just something to let them know I acknowledge you. I respect you enough or care about you enough to respond, but I'm not in the headspace to communicate with you right now. So just something basic like that. And if you can manage more details, then go for it. You can give them as much details that you want. But again, if you are in the space of worrying about them reaching out to you and not knowing how to respond or what to say, then that's just another option for you. Just give them a short, sweet, simple response so that, they can know, hey, I'll get back with you when I can. And now your response might be, hey, I just don't think I can, continue in a relationship with you or continue communicating with you after what happened with me and so. I'm really sorry, trying to heal, whatever. As short as you want to keep it or as much detail. Again, it largely depends on you. And I'm sure it has a lot to do with where you are in the journey. So just to kind of sum things up for you, okay? I know I told you a lot, but my point is this, that no one knows you and what you need better than you, okay? You are the expert on you. Even when you don't think you are, okay? You're the expert on you. And if you're feeling confused and think you don't know what you need, start with considering what you can handle, okay? And I want to make that clear that, you have to take you into account right now. I'm not saying be this selfish, self-absorbed person, but in this moment, you need to start with considering, what can I handle? What do I need right now in this season? So ask yourself those 3 questions that I mentioned to you earlier, which are, where are you in your healing journey? How would you feel running into your ex right now? How would you feel hearing about your ex right now? And those 3 things could kind of guide you in considering, okay, I can't handle it. I can handle it. I can only handle this much. Basically, that's kind of the options, and just insert there. But it's like, can you handle it? Can you not? And if it's something that's on your mind, then it's on your mind for a reason. Either you're worried about what they will say or think about you, or you genuinely care about his, family or y'all's mutual friends, and you're trying to find a way to salvage the relationship and heal at the same time. Because if you are not worried about them at all, then this wouldn't even be a question for you. Okay. So if you're someone who's really considering, I want you to really sit with it, journal through it, even really work through your thoughts and feelings about it, because you want to make the right decision. This is life. You don't want to be mean to people unnecessarily. You don't want to just cut people off and regret it later. So take your time and sit with this. And you have that right. You have the right to sit with it and decide what is best for you in this season. And sis, if you need help setting boundaries or with anything else that will help you heal and move on faster, I'm your girl. Okay, I'm here. Book a coaching session with me so you can get moving in the right direction. Healing doesn't happen overnight. Okay, you do know that. I've said it so many times, but we can identify small steps that will help you and make a big impact in your life over time. So don't sit here stuck. Don't feel like I can't do it. And if you're feeling like you can't, it's just that you can't do it alone, sis. You can do it. You just need some help. So you can go to CandiceABaddies.com/services to book your coaching session with me. 1 hour, we'll sit together, we'll identify where you are and what steps we can take get you moving in the right direction, sis. We want you moving forward. We want you making progress. We want you to identify the steps that will make big impact on this healing journey so that you can get your life back, sis. You need your sanity, your life, your peace, everything that this breakup has stolen from you. Okay, it's time to get it back. So again, CandiceABaddies.com/services. Book a 1-hour session with me. And if you have any questions, you can always email me at contact@CandiceABaddies.com. Also, and y'all, don't forget, those of y'all who are reading my devotional right now, I do want to sit down and have a conversation with you. I'm waiting on y'all to send me the emails and let me know. Say, hey, sis, I do want to be on a podcast. I do want to share my testimony and my experience. I want to share with people how far I've come. Even if you're not all the way through the book, you've just started reading it, but you feel like you're already getting insight on this healing journey, email me. Same email address, contact@CandiceABaddies.com. Let's set up a time where we can get together and have this conversation, chop it up, and bless some people in the process. All right. I love y'all so much, and I will talk to you again real soon. Bye. Hey, sis. Listen, if you've been blessed, changed, or inspired by this podcast in any way, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is the #1 way that you can thank me and show support for the show. Also, if this podcast blessed you, don't keep it to yourself. Do a quick share and bless someone else. Please know I am so grateful for each and every one of you, and I would love to hear from you. Come connect with me and other like-minded individuals in my Facebook group called Christian Women Overcoming Heartbreak and Finding Purpose. I can't wait to meet you back here really soon. Until then, remember to love the life you have while you're making it better. Love you, sis.